I'm a recent college graduate with a bachelor's degree in accounting, and I'm currently unemployed. I've been applying for jobs at local firms and other places, but so far, I haven't had any luck. During the day, I spend my time checking job listings online and in the local newspaper. At night, I take walks around my neighborhood. It's still a bit chilly, but the weather is pleasant for walking at night this time of year. I usually stop at a convenience store called Astromart to buy chips and soda before heading home to play games. The guy who runs the night shift is named Antonio, a chubby Eastern European-looking man. I never knew if he was on drugs or something, but he was always paranoid and twitchy. Last week, I was walking with my headphones on, listening to the new Guilty Gear Strive song, Circle, when I saw Antonio waving at me from inside the store. I didn't know him well, but I went inside anyway. Antonio looked pale, more freaked out than usual, and whispered, "Dude, there's a weird dog wandering around." I called animal control, and they said to stay indoors because it probably has the rabies. As I tried to process what he said, he suddenly lunged forward and slammed the glass door shut, with such force I am surprised it didn't shatter. I jumped back and looked around, trying to find the reason for his sudden reaction. I noticed that Antonio was twitching more than ever, and he was holding a shotgun. I panicked. I was trapped in a tiny store with a man who looked nuttier than a squirrel with a hoarding problem, and right now he was holding a 12 gauge. I thought to myself, this is it, he's gonna blow my brains out to kill the lizard people or some other crap that's probably rattling around in his drug-addled brain. I would have continued thinking that way if I hadn't followed Antonio's gaze. On the sidewalk outside, there was a creature. It wasn't a dog, that was for sure. It had a dog-like head, but that was where the similarity ended. The creature had no fur, and it had multiple heads, not like a Cerberus or a two-headed snake, but more like someone had sewn together a bunch of animal heads to make one body. Like some kind of weird rolled-up animal head quilt. It had a long, thin tail like a rat and legs that looked like those of a shoebill but shorter. I am not afraid to admit I wet myself. The thing started slamming itself into the door, causing it to crack. Antonio waved the gun at the creature and told it to fuck off, but just as he did that it ran off. I had a moment of relief only to see it running back. It slammed headfirst into the glass door, causing the glass to shatter into thousands of little bits. Antonio took a shot at the thing and I'm pretty sure I went deaf for a few seconds. After that I did the only sensible thing and ran to find somewhere to hide, but it was probably the worst decision I could have made that night. I mean, the thing had already seen me and there wasn't exactly that many places to hide. Maybe the bathroom or between the aisles, but that was about it. However, that didn't matter. My caveman brain was in control and it said go hide. However, at me taking flight the damn thing started chasing me. Antonio took 2 more shots at it. One hit the creature spraying the far wall with greenish-black blood, and the other caused the coffee machine to me to rupture, spilling hot coffee everywhere. I turned the corner to get on the other side of the island thing that had the hot dog rollers, and I saw the smorgasbord slip on the spilled coffee. If I weren't panicking so badly, it would have been funny. It had that look on its face that dogs get when they lose all traction on a tile floor and start freaking out, except it was on all its faces. As I was talking, I suddenly noticed the smorgasbord slipping on the spilled coffee and colliding with one of the refrigerators that hold the milk and other perishables. It's always a mystery how half of them are already expired yet they think they can get away with calling it fresh food. Anyway, apologies for getting sidetracked. So, when I turned back to the smorgasbord, I saw it floundering on the coffee-covered floor, struggling to gain any footing with its silly bird feet. Just then, Antonio walked up and smacked it on the head with the butt of his shotgun. The smorgasbord fell to the ground, twitching slightly, and Antonio went to finish it off with a shot to the head. However, Antonio missed the main head that resembled a dog if you squinted, and instead hit the one that looked more like a pig. The smorgasbord bit his leg, and he screamed in pain, using his shotgun as a club to defend himself. Suddenly, the store was filled with flashing red and blue lights. Before I could think, thank God, we are saved, a sharp pain hit the back of my neck, and everything went black. When I came to, I was lying in the back of an ambulance with 2 paramedics standing over me, securing an oxygen mask to my face. Before I could ask any questions, one of them instructed me to remain still and take slow, deep breaths. The paramedic explained that I was a victim of a carbon monoxide leak, and I needed to relax. Despite my attempts to inquire about Antonio or the smorgasbeast, the paramedic kept insisting that I take deep breaths. After spending 2 days in the hospital, encased in a strange tube thing that was supposed to get the monoxide out of me somehow, I was discharged with a hefty bill. I never received any answers regarding what occurred, apart from being informed of the carbon monoxide leak. This explanation didn't make sense, and I was left feeling unsure. I returned to the Astromart the following night to investigate, but it was closed with a sign on the now repaired door that read, "Due to short staff, we will be closing at 5 p.m. We apologize for the inconvenience." I'm unsure if any of it was real. I would prefer to believe the carbon monoxide explanation, but it still doesn't feel right. I'm baffled and searching for answers. If anyone can help me understand what happened, please let me know.
My day started like normal. Got out of bed, made some breakfast, and went to work. I was at the office when something caught my eye. I work on the 8th floor. Yeah, pretty high, right? So why did I see a man in the window staring at me? Nobody else seemed bothered. It wasn't like he was cleaning windows, especially with the knife in his hand. It only lasted for a split second before I blinked, and all of a sudden, he was gone. I shrugged it off as just being tired, which, looking back on it, was stupid. I saw him again on my way back home. I was traveling down the interstate when I saw him standing, well, floating above the road. I couldn't take my eyes off him, not even for a second, until I realized I was in the wrong lane via a car headed right towards me. I swerved and barely missed it. The whole ride home felt longer than usual, regarding the fact I was only 5 minutes away from my house. When I got home, I turned on the TV and my heart dropped. The news channel was on, and on it, a 12-car pileup on the interstate I was just driving on not but 10 minutes ago. I was looking at the helicopter feed when I noticed him, standing across the road on the opposite side from where the pileup took place. Almost as if he was proud of what he had caused. A knock came from my door. It was the police. I opened the door, and without hesitation they cuffed me. I was being arrested for reckless driving and vehicular manslaughter, and a multitude of other things. As the police car pulled out of the driveway, I saw him one last time, standing in my doorway, laughing.
It's been a little while since I had a bad episode. I knew for a couple of months that something wasn't right again. I started to see things that are not there. Things morph into something else. See people doing and saying something they didn't do. Hear people say something horrible about me that they didn't say. It came in smalls, but today I've been having full-blown convos with my hallucinations. Well, it's getting late and I'm having a hard time going to bed. I get in the shower. When I shower, I like to leave the curtain slightly cracked so I can see what's going on. I was washing my hair, and when I got done rinsing, I looked out the crack, and this pale-ass woman I never seen before with hugs, dark bags under her eyes, was standing right before the crack, very close, looking right at me in the eyes. When I jumped, she was gone. I get done and go to my room to get ready for bed. As I'm in bed trying to fall asleep, people I have never seen before keep popping up here and there. On the corner of my bed. The corner of my room. In front of the TV. The shit is, I'll have a full-blown convo with these people, and in the middle of it I realize I don't know them and get freighted that they are in my room. Thank God, as soon as I'm spooked I jump back to reality.